extending off the aorta in the human. There's only 2 on the cat. So big difference. If you're looking for a third vessel coming off the aorta on the cat, you're not going to find it. There's just 2. So we've got this gorgeous thymus and everything up here. We can kind of pull that out of the way now because we want to see these. Now this one doesn't have a whole lot of red here, but you can still kind of tell it's red. All right, so all I'm doing is here's my pulmonary trunk and my aorta. Here's the aorta coming up and over. There's the pulmonary trunk. There's the aorta. And there's 2 vessels coming off of the aorta. This one over here to the cat's right, and this one over here to the cat's left. There's 3 in humans, just 2 in cats. There was the biggest one, okay, which we don't need anymore. Okay, so here we go, just 2 vessels. That's it. So we're just going to follow the most direct path. One thing you will notice as we go through here, and if you look like in the textbook, whatever, there are a lot of vessels that we're just going right past. We're just taking the most direct route. So when you take a look, it's really not that many compared to what you would see if, you know, like we're not going to do this one right here, that kind of thing. We're just doing the major vessels. So you have your 2 carotid arteries up here, the cat's left and the cat's right. This one is the left subclavian, which branches off to the left, totally lost my train of thought, carotid artery. That one's over here. This is the brachiocephalic. This one on the right for the cat then branches off until to your right common carotid and your right subclavian right here. So you've got these 2. Okay, branches right here. You get one right here. Brachiocephalic, there's the left subclavian. We're going to follow down to the right. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to follow, nice little lymph node there. And here's your right common carotid. Comes straight up, and that's the one that you'd see over here on the right side. And one way you can double check this is to come up here and pull on it. See where it pulls, should pull right from there. Make sure you get the right one. It may be pulled. That's your right common carotid. Should come right through here. All right, so we're going to follow this left branch. And you want to try to leave the big veins in place, because we'll come back to the veins here in just a minute. But all this kind of material you can pull out. So you're not going to need that anymore. One of the problems of this is that the superior vena cava sits right on top of that. So we're going to map so I can show you that.
Turn 2 pages.
The map.
Turn 2 pages.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay, there we go. There's the left subclavian. There's the brachiocephalic trunk, which branches into the right subclavian and the right common carotid. So here's your brachiocephalic trunk. There's your right common carotid. There's your right subclavian. Okay, and we're going to the cat's right. So you see it branches really, I mean, these are almost like, they look plastic. They're just perfect, which is kind of amazing, really. But you've got those 2 right here. Then those, if you come right behind here, and again, you can kind of clean out this connective tissue as you go along. You can see this starts to branch again. And we're going to come right through here. There's your right common carotid. There's your right subclavian. So we're following the right subclavian, and we've got this huge vein right on top of it. We don't want to tear that vein out because we're going to need it here in a minute. So you need to just kind of loosen it like I did there, and then you can pull it out of the way. The arteries are a little bit deeper. Now we're interested at this point in the right brachiocephalic, right subclavian, excuse me. Okay. And as soon as this branches off here, okay. As soon as this branches off here, here's your right common carotid right here. And there is your right subclavian. It's this one right here. You see this one coming down? Okay, as soon as this branches off here, there is one vessel that goes down. This one is called the internal mammary. Because this one right here, it goes down. And it's as soon as that branches, you see it goes down. Right across from that, again, we're kind of trying to keep these fluids out of the way, are 3 vessels, 1, 2, 3. Just exactly on the other side. me see if I can pull this out here. Do it this way. Y'all are videoing, it's just illegal, by the way. So you don't know. Wait just a second, it's gonna take me here just a second to kind of clean this out.
I swear I will never post it or use it for anything but to study.
Yeah.
I will delete it.
That's not on tape.
The way you look up that site,
All of us, I mean, when we found out about that, our environment chair said, you're not going to do this. Because, I mean, she let her students do too, you know, we all did.
Right, and then that, I was like, okay, that should, and I do, I filter out like, okay, there's specific that you actually work.
No, what happened was couple semesters ago, somebody on Central Campus in one of the science classes, and I don't know which one, maybe in bio or something, I don't know, but anyway, one of the classes, made a copy and then started selling copies. And one of the, didn't post it on YouTube, it started selling them, and one of the, it got to the president of Central Campus, and so he said, no more videos, and it got to the chancellor, and she said, all 3 campuses, no more video. So somebody at Central blew it for everybody is what happened, basically. Yeah, really, because I mean, you know, we didn't care. But now, and they said the reason why is copyright infringement, and if somebody's in the picture, like my hands and my voice are in the picture, that I could sue you for not giving me credit for, you know. A little too politically correct in my opinion here.
Is that why we have to ask about voice recorders and lecture and all that?
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna pop I popped that on this side because we're gonna do this side anyway on the veins. All right, so here we go again. All right, there's your right common carotid, right here. There it is. Okay. This is your right subclavian, and you can see this one going down. That is the internal mammary. Directly across from that, you have 3 little bitty vessels. Now, these are the only ones. Get that front arm out of the way. There we go. Okay. These are the only ones that are itty bitty, teeny tiny, and I realize that. So that's why I want to kind of dissect them out real nicely here so that you can see them. Okay. There's 1, there's 2, there should be 1 more. There's 3 right in a row, and if you look, it's 1, 2, 3. Vertebral, costocervical, thyrocervical. The vertebral should be right across, and it is.
When did you take her?
Okay, I got it now. Here's your internal mammary. Directly across from that is your vertebral. See it right there? Okay. Right next to that, and you have to kind of fish for it because it's a loop. Right underneath that is a loop. There it is. That one is the costocervical. I've got pulled up. This is the thyrocervical. So let me pull all 3 up. This cat doesn't want to make it easy for us, but we'll do that. All right. Vertebral's that one. The loop right there is the costocervical. The next one is the thyrocervical. So it's 1, 2, 3. And what I try to do, like I said, this cat's not helping too much, but pull all 3 of them up like that. Okay, so now when I take a look,
Because I think I got it, and it helps.
some cats, most cats, they kind of separate out that one.
No, it does, it really does, I understand what you're saying, because like you.
There it is, a little bit better. Okay, so this white thing is just perfect. So there's your internal mammary, here's your vertebral,
You know what I mean, like you don't make it.
costocervical, thyrocervical. And yes, they're tiny, but we would pull them up like this, so you can see all 3.
So I understand what you're talking about, because I do the same thing.
1, 2, 3. And it's on both sides, so you know, you might find that over here it's clearer than it is on the other one. But they're in that order always. The one innermost is the vertebral, and it's right across from the internal mammary. Costocervical is the loop. Thyrocervical is this next one. Now, as soon as you get past that, this right subclavian changes name. So we're going the major passageways here. We came off the brachiocephalic trunk, had the right common carotid, and then it separated to the right subclavian. We had these 4 we just did. I'll cut this out because I don't want you guys to think that's a vessel. That's just part of it.
And you know you're going to have to.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. And
All
that's what I
right,
tell them.
internal mammary, and then those three, vertebral, costocervical, thyrocervical. Then the subclavian changes name. And you can see it right here. As soon as it gets past that, it's called the axillary artery. So
that
now,
goes come up by the-
yeah,
the
it's the
armpit.
same. It's the same major pathway, but it's changing names because some of it's split off there. So now it's called the axillary. Now what we want to do is get to the upper arm. So what you're going to have to do here is kind of see where it's going. And we don't really care about the veins because we're going to do the veins on this side. And we don't want to cut through it, but we want to cut through over here to get to the arm. So probably the easiest way to do it is just kind of see where that artery is. Start cutting through a little of this muscle at a time so that we can get to that vessel. We don't care about the muscles anymore because we've already done those, right? See how I'm kind of just sort of kicking my way through here?
Break it back.
Yep. Mhm. Yeah. Just, whatever you need to do. And again, we don't want to cut that one, but we want to get down to the muscle. Put the vein out of the way because we don't need that.
The very first day, when I said it, I thought she would be already doing that. Do the older lady, right?
What you can also do through this is maybe come to the arm and work your way back. Sometimes that's even easier. As you can see the major vein there, the artery should be right next to it. The artery. That's the lymphatics, the nerves, and the mitochondria. There's the artery.
It's still axillary at that point?
No.
Is it brachial now?
Yeah, but let me show you where it branches before we get too far ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
Okay, but see how I'm kind of backtracking now? Okay. So sometimes you can do it from this side and then kind of work your way back.
Yeah, I'm gonna take both parts. Yeah, but I took it. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Todd. She said this is blood, sweat, and tears right
Okay, there we go. Okay, see how we are? We're right here. All right, and again, you're just going to follow your map. We've already done these three, so we're looking for the subscapular. Now, where's the scapula?
Back in the back. Shoulder in the
Okay,
back.
this is the scapula. So it's going to go into the subscapular muscle, which is underneath. Now it shows it up top. Yours may be on top or bottom, but you know it's going to the scapula. So what we're looking for is one that goes pretty deep. So again, you can cut out these nerves and lymphatics if they're in your way, or just push them aside, either way you want to. Okay, do you see the vessel that's going to the scapula? See how deep that's going right there to the scapula right there. So there's your subscapular artery right there. Okay, see that's a nice big one. It's going right to the scapula there, so that's your subscapular. Once you go past the subscapular, it's changed to the brachial. So right here, past those three we did, it is axillary. As soon as you branch off to the subscapular, it becomes brachial. Okay, you're going to follow the brachial, and yes, there's a few that little bitty ones that split off here and there. We're going to get right down here, about to the elbow, almost to the elbow. And again, you can feel free to pull those out if you want to. Get your way. Yeah. And think back, I just taught this in A&P1. We just were finishing up bones. The ulna goes to which side?
The pinky.
To the pinky. And the radial goes to the thumb. So we're doing the same thing. Now cats don't have thumbs and pinkies, but
Think about
thumb
it.
is medial, pinky is lateral. So this is going to be the radial side, this is going to be the ulnar side, and that's all you're looking for down here. So when you